speak, ladies and gentlemen. What makes someone truly irreplaceable? Is it talent, intelligence, experience? Those things matter, but they are not what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Every day, incredibly talented people are overlooked while others continue to rise. The difference is nandapos, always ability, itandapos, habits. Being irreplaceable does nandapos mean no one can do your job. It means you consistently create value that people trust, respect, and rely on. You become the person who solves problems instead of creating them. You become the person who keeps learning while others stay comfortable. You become the person who leads with integrity even when no one is watching. The world does nandapos reward potential, it rewards consistency. Your future is not determined by what you say you will do someday, itandapos, shaped by what you repeatedly choose to do today. Every small habit is a vote for the person you are becoming. The good news is that becoming irreplaceable is nandapos, reserved for a lucky few. It does napos, require perfect circumstances, endless resources, or extraordinary gifts. It requires intentional daily choices. Habits that strengthen your character, sharpen your skills, and build the kind of trust that cannot be bought. The people who make the greatest impact are nandapos, obsessed with looking successful. The andapos, obsessed with becoming valuable. They understand that success is a byproduct of service, discipline, and continuous growth. Instead of asking, and quat, how can I get ahead? And quat, they ask, and quat, how can I become someone who makes everyone around me better? And quat, if you commit to the right habits long enough, people wanandapos remember you for what you owned. They andapos remember you for the problems you solved, the lives you improved, and the example you set. Today, Latanapos explores 7 powerful habits that can transform you into someone who is not easily replaced, at work, in relationships, and in life. The fastest way to become replaceable is to believe you have already learned enough. The world changes every day. Industries evolve, technology advances, and new challenges appear without warning. The people who continue to thrive are not always the smartest or the most experienced. They are the ones who remain students throughout their lives. They understand that learning is not something that ends with school or a certificate. It becomes a daily habit that shapes their thinking, improves their abilities, and prepares them for opportunities that others never see coming. Every new skill you develop increases your ability to adapt, solve problems, and contribute in meaningful ways. Instead of fearing change, lifelong learners embrace it because they know that growth is the best response to uncertainty. Curiosity is one of the greatest strengths you can develop. Curious people ask questions, seek better answers, and challenge their own assumptions. They are willing to admit when they donandapos know something because they see every gap in knowledge as an opportunity rather than a weakness. This mindset keeps them humble while allowing them to grow faster than those who pretend to have all the answers. Humility and curiosity work together to create continuous improvement. The moment you stop asking questions, you stop discovering possibilities that could transform your future. Learning is not limited to reading books or attending courses. It happens through conversations, experiences, failures, observation, and reflection. Every challenge carries a lesson if you're willing to pay attention. Every mistake contains information that can make you stronger the next time. Instead of hiding from failure, lifelong learners examine it carefully. They ask what worked, what did nandapos, and what can be improved. This approach turns setbacks into stepping stones rather than roadblocks. While others become discouraged by failure, learners become wiser because of it. Growth also requires discipline. Knowledge without action changes nothing. Speak. Reading 10 books means very little if you never apply what you andapos learned. The most successful people consistently practice new skills until they become habits. They understand that improvement happens through repetition, patience, and persistence. Small daily efforts may seem insignificant at first, but over months and years they create remarkable transformation. A single page read each day becomes dozens of books. A few minutes of practice each day becomes mastery. Progress is rarely dramatic in the moment, but it becomes undeniable over time. Another important part of lifelong learning is surrounding yourself with people who inspire you to think bigger. The people you spend time with influence your standards, your mindset, and your expectations. Seek mentors who challenge you, colleagues who encourage excellence, and friends who celebrate growth instead of comfort. Listen carefully to different perspectives because every person knows something you don't underpose. When you approach relationships with the intention to learn, every conversation becomes an opportunity to expand your understanding. Perhaps the greatest benefit of becoming a lifelong learner is that it keeps your purpose alive. Growth creates confidence. Not because you know everything, but because you trust your ability to keep learning whatever the future demands. You become adaptable instead of rigid, resilient instead of fearful, and prepared instead of overwhelmed. As the world continues to change, your willingness to grow ensures that your value continues to increase. While others wait for opportunities to appear, lifelong learners are constantly preparing themselves to recognize them, seize them, and create an impact that lasts. Every promise you make is a reflection of your character, whether it is a commitment to another person or a promise you make to yourself in private. Each one shapes your reputation and your identity. Most people think trust is built through big moments, but in reality it is built through small, consistent actions repeated over time. Showing up when you said you would, finishing what you started, meeting deadlines, and following through on your word, all send a powerful message. You are dependable. People naturally place greater confidence in those whose actions consistently match their words. Reliability is not an extraordinary talent. It is a daily habit that quietly separates those who are respected from those who are easily forgotten. The promises you make to yourself are just as important as the ones you make to others. Every time you decide to wake up early, exercise, learn a new skill, or complete an important task, you are making a commitment to your future self. When you repeatedly break those commitments, you slowly weaken your self-confidence. You begin to doubt your own ability to stay disciplined, and that doubt spreads into other areas of your life. On the other hand, every promise you keep strengthens your self-respect. It reminds you that you are capable of following through, even when the work is difficult or inconvenient. Confidence is not built by talking positively to yourself. It is built by proving to yourself day after day that your word means something. Keeping your promises does not mean life will always be easy. There will be days when circumstances change, obstacles appear, and motivation disappears. Those moments reveal the true value of commitment. Anyone can keep a promise when it is convenient, but real integrity is demonstrated when honoring your word requires sacrifice. The people who become irreplaceable are not those who never face challenges. They are the ones who continue to act responsibly despite them. They understand that discipline is choosing what matters most over what feels easiest in the moment. Trust, once earned, becomes one of your greatest assets. In every workplace, team, family, and friendship, people naturally rely on individuals who consistently deliver on their commitments. Speak. Speak? No, they do not have to waste energy wondering whether the job will be completed or whether support will arrive when needed. That reliability creates opportunities that talent alone cannot provide. Promotions, partnerships, leadership roles, and meaningful relationships are often given to people who have proven they can be counted on. Skills can be taught, but trust must be earned through consistent action. There's also wisdom in making promises carefully. You do not need to say yes to every request in order to be seen as helpful. In fact, saying yes too often can lead to broken commitments because your time and energy become stretched beyond their limits. It is far better to make fewer promises and keep every one of them than to overcommit and disappoint others. Learning to say no when necessary protects your integrity and ensures that the commitments you do make receive your full attention and effort. Living with integrity means your words and actions remain aligned, whether anyone is watching or not. It means taking responsibility when you make a mistake, instead of searching for excuses. It means admitting when you cannot fulfill a commitment and communicating honestly, rather than disappearing or making empty explanations. People respect honesty, even when circumstances change, because honesty preserves trust. Excuses may protect your pride for a moment, but accountability strengthens your character for a lifetime. Every promise you keep becomes another brick in the foundation of your reputation. Over time, those small acts of consistency create something powerful. They shape how others see you, but more importantly, they shape how you see yourself. When your word becomes unshakable, your confidence grows, your relationships deepen, and your influence expands. People are drawn to those they can trust, because trust creates security, and security creates lasting respect. In a world where many people speak with confidence, but fail to follow through, becoming someone whose word is dependable will always make you stand out and become truly irreplaceable. The people who create the greatest impact are rarely the ones who simply wait for instructions. They are the ones who notice challenges before everyone else, think critically about possible solutions, and take responsible action. In every workplace, every team, and every area of life, problems are inevitable. What separates an average person from someone who becomes truly irreplaceable is not the absence of problems, but the willingness to solve them. Instead of asking, "And what? Whose job is this?" And what, they ask, "And what? How can I help make this better?" And quote, that simple shift in mindset transforms an ordinary contributor into someone others naturally trust and depend on. Too many people spend their time pointing out what is wrong. They complain about inefficient systems, difficult situations, or the mistakes of others, yet they rarely offer a way forward. Anyone can identify a problem. It takes initiative, creativity, and courage to develop a solution. When you become known as someone who brings answers instead of excuses, your value immediately increases. Leaders appreciate people who reduce stress rather than create more of it. They remember those who step forward when challenges arise, because those individuals make progress possible. Problem solving begins with paying attention. Many opportunities are hidden inside everyday frustrations. A repeated mistake, a slow process, poor communication, or unnecessary confusion may seem like small inconveniences, but they often reveal areas that need improvement. Instead of ignoring these situations or assuming someone else will handle them, train yourself to observe carefully. Ask why the problem exists, what is causing it, and how it can be prevented in the future. This habit of thoughtful observation allows you to contribute beyond the basic responsibilities of your role. Effective problem solvers also take ownership. Speak. They do not waste energy blaming circumstances, criticizing coworkers, or making excuses. They understand that while they cannot control every situation, they can always control their response. Ownership means accepting responsibility for finding the next best step rather than waiting for perfect conditions. Even when a problem was created by someone else, choosing to be part of the solution demonstrates maturity and leadership. This mindset earns respect because it shows that you care more about results than about receiving credit. Solving problems does not mean acting impulsively or assuming you have every answer. Wise problem solvers gather information, listen to different perspectives, and think through the possible consequences before making decisions. They ask thoughtful questions and remain open to learning. Sometimes, the best solution comes from collaboration rather than individual effort. Being proactive is not about acting alone, it is about taking the initiative to move the situation in a positive direction while involving the right people when necessary. Another essential quality is resilience. Not every solution will work the first time. Some ideas will fail, and some efforts will require adjustment. Instead of becoming discouraged, effective problem solvers treat setbacks as feedback. They evaluate what happened, learn from the experience, and continue improving their approach. This willingness to adapt is what allows continuous progress. The goal is not perfection, but persistence. Every challenge overcome builds confidence, experience, and wisdom that can be applied to future situations. People who consistently solve problems become trusted because they reduce uncertainty. Colleagues seek their advice, leaders rely on their judgment, and teams feel more confident when they are involved. Their influence grows naturally because they have proven they can handle responsibility without constant supervision. They do not wait to be told every step to take because they understand the mission and look for ways to advance it. This level of initiative demonstrates that they are invested in the success of the entire team, not just in completing their assigned tasks. The habit of solving problems extends far beyond professional success. It strengthens relationships by encouraging honest communication instead of avoidance. It improves personal growth by teaching resilience and critical thinking. It builds confidence because each challenge overcome becomes evidence that you are capable of handling greater responsibility. Over time, people begin to see you as someone who brings clarity during confusion, stability during uncertainty, and progress when others feel stuck. That reputation cannot be created through titles or words alone. It is earned through consistent action, thoughtful leadership, and a commitment to making every situation better than you found it. Success is often measured by achievements, titles, or financial rewards, but behind every lasting accomplishment are strong relationships built on trust, respect, and genuine service. No one reaches their full potential alone. Every opportunity, every lesson, and every breakthrough is connected to people who choose to support, encourage, and believe in one another. The individuals who become truly irreplaceable understand that relationships are not transactions. They are built through consistent acts of kindness, reliability, and a sincere desire to help others succeed. Instead of asking, "What can I gain from this person?" they ask, "How can I add value to their life?" That shift in perspective changes not only the quality of your relationships, but also the quality of your character. Genuine service begins with seeing people as individuals rather than stepping stones. Every person has dreams, challenges, strengths, and fears that may not be visible on the surface. Taking the time to understand others creates meaningful connections that go beyond casual conversations. Listening attentively, remembering important details, offering encouragement, and showing empathy communicates something powerful, that people matter. In a world where many are waiting for their turn to speak, becoming someone who truly listens is a rare and valuable habit. People naturally trust those who make them feel heard and understood. Building strong relationships also requires consistency. Kindness shown only when it is convenient or beneficial quickly loses its authenticity. Real service is demonstrated through small actions repeated over time. It may be helping a colleague without expecting recognition, supporting a friend during a difficult season, mentoring someone with less experience, or offering encouragement when others are quick to criticize. These everyday choices create a reputation of dependability and generosity. Over time, people remember not just what you accomplished, but how you made them feel and how you treated them when there was nothing to gain. Humility is another essential part of genuine service. Humble people are confident enough to celebrate the success of others without feeling threatened. They share knowledge freely because they understand that helping someone else grow does not diminish their own value. In fact, lifting others often strengthens everyone involved. Teams become stronger when people collaborate instead of compete for attention. Families become healthier when members serve one another with patience and understanding. Communities flourish when individuals contribute without constantly seeking applause. Humility creates an environment where trust grows naturally because people feel respected rather than judged. Strong relationships also require integrity. People need to know that your words can be trusted and that your actions will remain consistent even when circumstances change. Keeping your commitments, admitting your mistakes, apologizing sincerely, and communicating honestly build a foundation that can withstand challenges. Every relationship experiences misunderstandings, but honesty and accountability allow those moments to become opportunities for deeper trust instead of lasting division. Genuine service is not about appearing perfect. It is about being dependable, respectful, and willing to do what is right even when it is difficult. Another powerful aspect of serving others is recognizing that everyone has something valuable to teach you. Relationships should never become one-sided. While you look for ways to encourage and support others, remain open to learning from their experiences, perspectives, and wisdom. This attitude creates mutual respect and continuous growth. Instead of approaching conversations with the goal of proving yourself, approach them with curiosity and appreciation. People are more willing to connect with those who value their ideas and experiences rather than dismiss them. Serving others does not mean neglecting your own well-being or allowing people to take advantage of your kindness. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, clear boundaries, and shared responsibility. Genuine service comes from strength, not from the fear of disappointing others. You can be compassionate while protecting your time, energy, and values. In fact, healthy boundaries often strengthen relationships because they create honesty and prevent resentment from quietly growing beneath the surface. When you consistently choose to serve rather than simply seek personal gain, your influence grows in ways that cannot be measured by titles or status. People begin to trust your intentions because they know you care about more than your own success. They seek your guidance because you have demonstrated wisdom, empathy, and integrity. Opportunities arise because others want to work with someone who brings encouragement instead of ego. Speak over time. Your greatest legacy will not be the recognition you received, but the people you inspired, supported, and helped become better. Those lasting relationships become the true measure of a life that created meaningful impact. Motivation is a powerful feeling, but it is also unpredictable. Some mornings you wake up energized, excited, and ready to take on every challenge. On other days, even the smallest task feels overwhelming. If your progress depends entirely on how you feel, your results will always be inconsistent. The people who become truly irreplaceable understand that motivation is a welcome visitor, but discipline is a permanent companion. They do not wait until they feel inspired to take action. They build habits that allow them to move forward even when enthusiasm has faded. Their commitment is stronger than their emotions, and that consistency becomes the foundation of their success. Discipline begins with understanding your purpose. When you have a clear reason for what you are doing, temporary discomfort loses its power. It becomes easier to wake up early, continue learning, practice your skills, or finish difficult work because you know these actions are connected to a greater goal. Purpose gives direction, but discipline provides the daily steps that bring that purpose to life. Without discipline, even the most inspiring vision remains nothing more than a dream. Every meaningful achievement is built one decision at a time, often on days when motivation is nowhere to be found. One of the greatest misconceptions is that successful people always feel motivated. In reality, they experience the same doubts, frustrations, and moments of exhaustion as everyone else. The difference is that they have trained themselves to act despite those feelings. They understand that emotions change constantly, but values and commitments should remain steady. They choose to honor the promises they have made to themselves because they know that every action reinforces the person they are becoming. Each disciplined decision strengthens character, while every excuse makes the next excuse easier to accept. Small daily actions are the true source of lasting progress. Reading a few pages each day may not seem significant, but over time it leads to knowledge that transforms your thinking. Exercising consistently, even for a short period, strengthens your body and your confidence. Saving a little money, practicing a skill, or completing one important task each day creates momentum that grows with time. Discipline is rarely dramatic. It often looks ordinary and repetitive. Yet those ordinary actions, repeated consistently, produce extraordinary results that others mistake for luck or talent. Discipline also requires the ability to manage distractions. Modern life constantly competes for your attention. Notifications, entertainment, and endless opportunities to procrastinate can quietly steal hours from your day. Disciplined people recognize that every distraction carries a hidden cost. Time spent on meaningless activities cannot be invested in growth, relationships, or meaningful work. They intentionally create environments that support focus by removing unnecessary interruptions, planning their priorities, and protecting their most productive hours. They understand that saying yes to one thing often means saying no to something more valuable. Another essential part of discipline is learning to recover quickly from setbacks. No one maintains perfect consistency forever. There will be days when you miss a workout, postpone an important task, or fall short of your own expectations. The disciplined person does not allow one mistake to become a permanent habit. Instead of giving up, they acknowledge the setback, learn from it, and return to their routine as quickly as possible. They refuse to let temporary failure define their future because they know progress is measured over months and years, not by a single imperfect day. Speak. Discipline is also an expression of self-respect. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you prove to yourself that your word has value. That repeated evidence builds confidence from the inside out. You stop relying on external praise because you know you can trust yourself. This inner confidence becomes visible in the way you approach challenges, make decisions, and handle adversity. Others begin to notice your consistency, not because you seek attention, but because reliable behavior naturally earns respect. When motivation disappears, discipline becomes the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It keeps you moving when progress feels slow, when results are invisible, and when quitting seems easier than continuing. Over time, disciplined action shapes your habits shape your character, and your character shapes your future. While many people wait for the perfect mood or the perfect moment, disciplined individuals quietly continue the work. That unwavering commitment allows them to grow stronger with every challenge, become dependable in every situation, and create a life defined not by temporary inspiration, but by lasting excellence. Integrity is one of the few qualities that can never be borrowed, bought, or faked for long. It is revealed through the choices you make every single day, especially when no one is watching. While talent may open doors and intelligence may create opportunities, integrity is what keeps those doors open. People may admire your abilities, but they will only trust your character if your actions consistently align with your values. Becoming irreplaceable is not about being the most skilled person in the room. It is about becoming the person others can depend on without hesitation. That kind of trust is earned through honesty, accountability, and a commitment to doing what is right, even when it is difficult or inconvenient. Leading with integrity begins by understanding that your reputation is built one decision at a time. Every promise you keep, every responsibility you accept, and every honest conversation you have adds another layer to your credibility. Likewise, every shortcut, broken commitment, or dishonest action slowly weakens the foundation of trust you have worked so hard to build. Integrity is not tested when everything is easy. It is tested when you have the chance to gain something by compromising your principles. In those moments, your choices reveal who you truly are. Character is not defined by what people see in public, but by what you choose in private. Creating value every day means focusing on contribution rather than recognition. Many people spend their energy asking how they can receive more, earn more, or gain more attention. Truly valuable people ask a different question: how can I make this situation better? They look for ways to improve processes, encourage teammates, solve problems, and leave every place better than they found it. This mindset transforms ordinary work into meaningful service. No task becomes too small because they understand that excellence is built through consistent effort, not occasional grand achievements. Integrity also requires taking responsibility for your mistakes. Everyone makes errors, but trustworthy people refuse to hide behind excuses or blame others. They admit when they are wrong, learn from the experience, and make the necessary changes to prevent the same mistake from happening again. Accountability demonstrates maturity and strength because it places growth above pride. People respect those who own their actions far more than those who constantly defend themselves. An honest apology followed by meaningful improvement is often more powerful than pretending to be perfect. Creating value is closely connected to how you treat people. Every interaction is an opportunity to encourage, support, or inspire someone else. Respecting others, listening carefully, sharing knowledge, and recognizing the contributions of those around you create an environment where everyone can grow. Leadership is not about controlling people or seeking admiration. It is about helping others become better because of your presence. When people consistently leave conversations with you feeling respected and motivated, your influence naturally expands without needing to demand it. Another important aspect of integrity is consistency. It is easy to act with excellence when someone is evaluating your performance or when recognition is guaranteed. The real measure of integrity is maintaining the same standard when no applause is expected. Consistent effort, regardless of the audience, demonstrates that your values are deeply rooted rather than dependent on external rewards. This reliability builds confidence in those around you because they know what to expect from your character, regardless of the circumstances. Living with integrity also means making decisions based on long-term principles instead of short-term emotions. There will always be opportunities to take easier paths, compromise your values, or pursue immediate rewards at the expense of lasting trust. Wise people recognize that temporary success gained through dishonesty ultimately leads to lasting regret. Lasting influence is built slowly through countless choices that reflect honesty, humility, and responsibility. Every day offers another opportunity to strengthen your reputation by choosing principles over convenience. When you lead with integrity and focus on creating value every day, you become more than someone who completes tasks or achieves goals. You become someone others trust with responsibility, seek for guidance, and remember for the positive impact you made. Your influence grows because people know your words can be believed, your actions can be relied upon, and your intentions are genuine. In a world where many chase recognition, those who consistently choose character, service, and excellence stand apart. They leave behind more than accomplishments. They leave behind trust, respect, and a legacy of meaningful value that continues to inspire long after the work is done. Here is a powerful and inspiring ending that fits the tone of your speech. As you leave today, remember this. Becoming irreplaceable is not about proving you're better than everyone else. It's about becoming better than the person you were yesterday. The habits you choose each day quietly shape your future long before the world notices your success. Keep learning when others become comfortable. Keep your promises when excuses seem easier. Solve problems instead of waiting for someone else to act. Build relationships by serving, not by seeking attention. Stay disciplined when motivation fades, and above all, lead with integrity, because your character will always speak louder than your achievements. You don't become irreplaceable in a single moment. You become irreplaceable through thousands of small decisions made with consistency, courage, and purpose. Every day is another opportunity to earn trust, create value, and leave people better than you found them. One day, people won't remember every word you said or every title you held. They will remember the difference you made, the lives you touched, and the example you set. So don't chase recognition, chase growth. Don't focus on being impressive, focus on being valuable. Your future is being built by the habits you practice today. Start now. Stay consistent, keep growing. Because when your character becomes your greatest strength and your actions consistently create value, you won't need to convince the world that you're irreplaceable. They'll already know